Here we presents the top 5 best Burr Grinder. Starting of our listed number 5. Bodum Bistro Burr Grinder. Bodum has long been known in the coffee game for its French presses, but this grinder is a relatively recent addition to the company's line of coffee-related products. While Bodum has a reputation for making fantastic French presses, this reputation does not necessarily extend to grinders. It may look modern, but does it live up to its name? While this grinder is considered cheap compared to other electric burr grinders, it is by no means cheaper than a random blade grinder or even a disc burr grinder. That begs the question, is it really worth it? The mechanism employed by a burr grinder is fundamentally different from that of a blade grinder, and that makes all the difference in the quality of your final cup of coffee. For more information and price, check out the product links and description. Coming in at number 4 of our list. Capresso 565.05 Infinity Conical. If you're ready to move away from your old blade grinder, the Capresso Infinity Burr Grinder is an excellent entry-level machine. The Infinity has features that won't disappoint coffee lovers. The steel conical burrs, for instance, have stepped adjustments for beginners to learn how to perfect their grind for different brew methods. The Infinity's affordable price places it in the same market as favorites like the Baratza Encore. Both are slated for new at-home baristas interested in brewing on a Chemex, Hario V60 or French press. The stepped grind adjustment is perfect for people wanting to learn how to make great coffee at home. There are 16 settings with 4 categories that range from extra fine to coarse. If you've been reading up on grind differences for brewing, it'll be intuitive to guess what setting you'll want to use. A little less intuitive is the timer to activate the grinder. The dial features settings from 1 to 10 that act more as a reference point than actual time dosage. When you grind at extra fine, there is less coffee per second passing through the burrs than grinding on coarse. We'd recommend dialing in your grind and using the timer as a personal reference for dosage. That does pose some extra work for beginners to become familiar with dosage, consistency and timing. Halfway of our listed number 3. OXO Brew Conical Burr. A pared down, less expensive version of its flashier sibling, we think the OXO Brew Conical Burr is slightly more compelling than the higher priced offerings from the brand. It provides good grind consistency and reasonably intuitive interface, plus its habit of spilling grinds and somewhat jarring noise felt less offensive when you haven't spent multiple hundreds of dollars. That being said, we've found other models in the same price range that do a slightly better job overall, so we would only recommend the Brew Conical Burr if you find it on sale. The OXO Brew Conical Burr offers the quality of a burr grinder at a fairly reasonable price. It isn't our absolute favorite burr grinder in this price range, but we don't think it will disappoint anyone either. The most compelling aspect of the Brew Conical Burr is the fact that it provides above-average grind consistency. In our testing, it managed to keep more than half of its grinds in the ideal size range, was able to keep fine coffee dust to a relative minimum when grinding at a coarse French press setting, and produced fairly consistent dose sizes. All this indicates that this machine will give your coffee a better chance of reaching its full potential than most models on the market. Number 2 of this list. Baratza Virtuoso Plus Conical. If you're already looking at the Virtuoso, no doubt you are aware of its younger brother, the Encore. An equally attractive, but cheaper grinder. Let's have a closer look at the specs of this popular entry-level grinder. The Baratza Encore is around $100 cheaper than the Virtuoso, but it has a lot of similar features. Although, unlike the Virtuoso, the Encore has a weaker motor and a slower grind speed at 0.8 to 1.1 gs instead of 1.5 to 2.4 gs. It also has an easy on-off switch rather than a 60-second timer switch. It is a little noisier than the Virtuoso. If you're just jumping onto the coffee brewing train, the Baratza Encore has a very user-friendly design that's great for beginners. It has the same 40 grind settings as the Virtuoso, but it lacks consistency at the extremes of the spectrum. That means less accurate grinding for both espresso and French press. And coming in at number 1 of our list. Breville BCG 820 BSS-XL. The Breville Smart Grinder Pro is aimed at the many people who want a grinder that can fill all their needs without breaking the bank. It's a jack-of-all-trades but master-of-none grinder that could work well for you, if you want to dabble with espresso without paying the high price normally associated with espresso grinders. Overall, It's a small and attractive grinder that a big group of coffee people would be happy with. The Breville Smart Grinder Pro is more expensive than most entry-level electric Burr grinders. However, if you compare it to espresso grinders, it's still pretty affordable. This combination makes it a very interesting option for people who want to get into espresso without spending a fortune. I have included these product links in the description. You can check out these links for more information and latest price. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe.